In 2015, the Bretzius family believed they were about to do something ordinary. They wanted to insulate their old house before winter. What they uncovered instead was something no one was meant to find. Something hidden for nearly a century. Something placed deliberately and sealed inside the walls. This is the story known today as the breath of the old walls. The house stood on the outskirts of rural Pennsylvania, surrounded by trees older than the road that led to it. Built in the early 1900s, it had the familiar quiet of old American homes: thick wooden beams, narrow hallways, and walls that seemed to absorb sound rather than reflect it. Mark Bretzius had lived there with his wife and children for years. The house was drafty. Winters were brutal. So that autumn, Mark decided to open the walls and add insulation. It was supposed to be a weekend project. When Mark removed the wooden panels in the living room, insulation didn't fall out. Something else did. Small, stiff shapes tumbled onto the floor. At first, he thought they were old rags. Then he saw the paws. They were animals: cats, squirrels, birds, dozens of them. Mummified, dried, preserved. Each one wrapped tightly in yellowed newspaper. The smell hit seconds later. Not rot, not decay. Something sweet, chemical, and wrong. The newspapers dated back to the 1930s and 1940s, filled with recipes, advertisements, obituaries. Some were folded with unsettling precision. The family called the police, fearing a crime scene. But there were no signs of violence, no modern fingerprints, no recent activity. Instead, an expert in local folklore was contacted. When he saw the animals, his face reportedly went pale. He recognized the spices sprinkled over the bodies: salt, clove, ash, dried herbs. He said one word: Pow-wow. Pow-wow, also known as Pennsylvania Dutch folk magic, was practiced by early German settlers. It wasn't always dark, but some rituals crossed a line. Animals were sealed into walls to trap sickness, block spirits, or bind unseen forces to a house. The walls weren't storage. They were containers. Researchers later discovered the house once belonged to a woman locals referred to as a whisperer, someone who spoke charms into objects and into structures. The animals weren't offerings. They were anchors. After the discovery, the family couldn't get rid of the smell. Mold spread rapidly, black, aggressive. Soon, the family began experiencing symptoms: headaches, nausea, vivid nightmares. Then came the sounds. Not scratching, not mice. A dry whisper, moving through the walls. Mark said it spoke his name. Late one night, while sorting through the newspapers pulled from the wall, he found something impossible. Written in red paint, faded but visible, was his last name. The newspaper had been printed 50 years before the Bretzius family moved in. The family moved out. The house still stands. Neighbors say lights flicker at night. That whispers echo in empty rooms. That small, wet paw prints appear on windows, even in winter. The walls still breathe. And whatever was sealed inside may still be listening. Some houses are built. Others are prepared. And some walls were never meant to be opened.